Welcome to Civilspedia. In today's discussion, we will have 4 topics under prelims: Global Hunger Index, Self4Society app, India, South Korea and Korean War Memorial, and Unified Payments Interface. And for mains, we will discuss what needs to be done on account of this MeToo movement. First, we will discuss Global Hunger Index. And this Global Hunger Index of 2018 has a special focus for the theme forced migration and hunger. Forced migration and hunger. We need to know who prepares this report. This year, the report was prepared by Concern Worldwide and Welt Hunger Hilf. Concern Worldwide and Welt Hunger Hilf. We should note that usually for every year, International Food Policy Research Institute was also included in the preparation and publishing of this report. But this year, it is not involved. It was not involved in the preparation of Global Hunger Index of 2018. We should note that there are 4 indicators based on which this index is calculated. They are first undernourishment, and then comes child wasting, and then comes child stunting, and finally child mortality. This undernourishment is measured based on inadequate calorie intake, and child stunting is less height for the corresponding age, and this child wasting is less weight for the corresponding height. And we know that child mortality is the number of children dying, rate of child death, children belonging to less than 5 years of age due to inadequate health availability, and then unhygiene conditions. The child wasting, child stunting, and the child mortality includes children less than 5 years of age. These are the 4 indicators. And coming to ranking, the best performing 15 countries were not assigned individual ranks. All right. Therefore, first 15 countries were collectively given the rank of 1 to 15. It should note that ranking is based on score 0 to 100. And any nation which has scored very less actually has performed well. 0 means no one is undernourished, no one is dying, no one is involved in child wasting, no child is stunted. But 100 means extreme situation. And therefore, let us discuss the rank that India has scored. India was given the rank of 103, along with Nigeria from about 119 countries. And our neighbor China was assigned the rank of 25 in terms of hunger, Global Hunger Index. We'll now discuss the severity scales. 5 severity scales were given by this Global Hunger Index. They are low, moderate, serious, alarming, and extremely alarming. And low means 5 to 10. 5 to 10, and moderate means 10.1 to 10 till 20. And serious means 20 to 35, that means 20.1 to 35. And alarming means 35 to 50, 35.1 to 50. And extremely alarming is 50 to 55, 50.1 to 55. We should note that only one country comes under extremely alarming scale, which is nothing but Central African Republic, because its score is 53.7. The score of India was 31.1. This discussion is serious because in the year 2018, there was a prelims, there was a question on who prepared Rule of Law Index. 2017, there was a question on similar question, and 2016, there were 3 questions in this format, indicators of Global Hunger Index, and they asked who prepares this ease of doing business report and also global financial stability report as well. 3 questions have come. So discussions is important. Next, we will discuss Self4Society app. It is an app that is to be launched on October 24, tentatively scheduled so. And it is an app that is developed by My Government Portal. And this My Government Portal in itself is a platform for citizen engagement for good governance in India. All right. This app is developed by this My Government Portal, and this app will provide a platform for corporate employees or professionals to carry out volunteering work, when they have free time. It was understood that corporate employees or professionals have a lot of willingness to do volunteering work in their free time, but they lacked guidance. But this app is going to guide the corporate employees in carrying out such work. It is to be noted that this app is also consisting of incentives and gamifications. That means you will be given points for more number of work that you're going to do. And it also consists of intra and inter company competitions on volunteering work, and also social networking of volunteers. So with this, we can say that this Self4Society app is going to create a healthy competition for volunteering work. With this, we come to the end of this discussion. Next, we will discuss India and South Korea on Korean War Memorial. In the sidelines of a seminar on India-South Korea relations, the South Korean ambassador in India has stated that India and South Korea have agreed to construct or to build this Korean War Memorial in New Delhi. It has been stated that already the city government in Delhi has demarcated area for the construction of the Korean War Memorial. It is to be constructed. It is constructed to commemorate a neutral but significant role that India has played, India which contributed in a peaceful manner to end the Korean War. This Korean War began in 1950 and came to an end in 1953 with the Korean Armistice Agreement. Korean Armistice Agreement. All right. It is the Indian. We'll discuss Indian contribution now. It is a follow-up action of Korean Armistice Agreement that there has to be a neutral nations repatriation commission. There has to be a neutral nations repatriation commission, and India was chosen to chair the commission. And accordingly, an Indian Lieutenant General Timmaiah was the chairman of this commission. And India also aided or contributed by sending medical teams and a custodian force to deal with prisoners of war from both sides, that is from South Korea and North Korea, prisoners of war. Even this NNRC or Neutral Nations Repatriation Commission is also to decide the fate of almost more than 20,000 prisoners of war from both sides, that is from North Korea and South Korea. This is about this Korean War Memorial. We saw what is the reason for bringing it to commemorate that Indian role by following a peaceful route to end this Korean War in the year 1953. And next we will discuss Unified Payments Interface. Unified Payment Interface. All right. This is a product or a feature that comes along with usually with banking apps, and it enables money transfers, particularly instantly, fastly, and smoothly through smartphones. All right. And two important features of this unified payments interface is that it facilitates customer convenience. How? By eliminating the need for providing detailed account or beneficiary details. All right. And it also facilitates interoperability of person to merchant payments. And we'll discuss this now. UPI, Unified Payments Interface, actually links bank account to a virtual payment address. No need to worry about what is virtual payment address, because it's nothing but an ID, UPI ID. Whenever an app is installed, sometime, for example, in Paytm, normally the phone number becomes this UPI ID, but it can be altered by the beneficiary. Therefore, it is nothing but an ID. Virtual payment address is nothing but an ID. So anyone to send or to receive money or to carry out a purchase based on QR code or to send money to a merchant just needs the virtual payment ID of the other person, and to collect the money he has to share his virtual payment address or the ID. All right. With that, no need to give account details such as account number, IFSC code, or the name with which the account is there. All right. And coming to how the transactions are secure. Security is ensured by two-factor authentication, which involves UPI PIN number, and also the mobile SIM. All right. With this, we come to the discussion on unified payments interface. And next, we're going to have a discussion with MeToo movement. All right. This movement, this platform where women have started to come out in large numbers to various platforms to report the sexual abuse that they have faced as children and as adults. But even male members, even men are also reporting in various platforms about the childhood sexual abuse that they have faced. However, when it comes to sexual abuse during the adulthood, it was more number of women who come out and report these offenses, primarily because of the reasons such as more men are offending in nature and less women are offending in a similar way maybe. And also that women being physically stronger than men being physically stronger than women, and therefore this difference is also makes men not vulnerable. All right, now we will get into this study by Ministry of Women into Child Development conducted, which published a report. All right, study of child abuse in India. Study of child abuse in India 2007. This report states that around number of respondents were 12,447 children were respondents for the study, and of this around 53.22% of respondents have faced one or more forms of sexual abuse, and around 21% of these children have stated that they have faced one or more forms of severe sexual abuse. Severe sexual abuse means sexual assault, rape, sodomy, or making a boy or a girl child to explicitly show his or her private organ. These are all coming under severe sexual offenses for this particular study, which makes clear that sexual abuse was prevalent among children. All right, next we will discuss what provisions are already in law. We actually have enough provisions in law to deal with sexual assault, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse. All right. When it comes to workplace, we have Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act of 2013, which clearly states what comes under sexual harassment in Section 2N and Section 3 of the Act. This Act is non-cognizable, meaning police cannot arrest without warrant. But Section 3, one of the provisions of Section 3 states clearly that even an implied or explicit promise to give preferential treatment in her employment, in a woman's employment, constitutes sexual harassment. But sad thing is that many women do not know what exactly comes under violation of their rights and what protection they have under the law. And we have this many sections under Indian Penal Code to deal with sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and sexual assault. For example, any physical contact which are unwelcome and with sexual overtures. For example, an unwelcome hug is an offense, cognizable criminal offense under Section 354 capital A of Indian Penal Code. But not many know that, not many were given much awareness about this. And therefore, what needs to be done is that women has to be given a lot of awareness, particularly girl children and women have to be given a lot of awareness to know what exactly are their violations of their rights, and what are the various actions which come under cognizable and non-cognizable criminal offenses according to various legislations and Indian Penal Code. And so as to know that what are the various protection measures legally they have to fight their case. All right, this awareness has to be given, and we have enough sections in law, but not many come out and report. It was academicians involved in the branches of studies such as women's studies, criminology, law, victimology studies say that some around 6 to 10 out of 100 victims of rape, only 6 to 10 people come and report the offense to police or the formal reporting mechanisms. Only this many people come to the criminal justice system. What about remaining victims? What about their trauma? What about victim assistance to them? Right? Whenever a woman women who face sexual abuse or sexual harassment or sexual assault comes to file a report or file a complaint, the society and the criminal justice system as well is having a mindset of victim blaming. They will pose some illogical questions such as, what is the need for you to go to buy a vegetable at 9 p.m. in the night? And if you go and file a complaint, no one may marry you. such illogical questions will be raised to blame the victim, which further victimizes the victim in addition to sexual primary victimization. And therefore, the criminal justice system, which includes police, judiciary, courts, prosecuting agencies, etc., and the society should change the mindset from victim blaming to victim assistance. And this victim assistance should be only in the point of victim. Victim has to be emotionally supported, psychologically supported, financially, in all other ways. And this victim has to be sufficiently encouraged by various stakeholders to fight her case legally by reporting. And for that to be carried out, we need victim protection policy. We do not have a nationwide victim protection policy and witness protection policy other than few sections in Code of Criminal Procedure. But we require specific exclusive victim protection policy and witness protection policy. And for those who do not register a complaint in formal reporting mechanisms, we need timely conducting of sexual offenses victimization surveys to understand and studies to understand the magnitude of the problem. All right. And whenever we discuss all these things, we should necessarily include transgenders and sexual minorities as well. They should not be included. We have to be inclusive. And our existing legal framework has also to be strengthened by monitoring. We have internal complaints committee, we have local complaints committee. But how far this internal complaint committee has been formed in every private institution? So there has to be enough monitoring. And how far the governing rules are followed as stated in this act, whether they are really followed in constituting such internal complaints committee and district complaints committee. We have to, this mechanism has to be strengthened only when reporting behavior increases, only when reporting mechanisms are victim friendly, more victims will come and report. Otherwise, the problem will be huge and no victims will get addressed, and this will affect the personality development seriously. And with this, we come to the end of this discussion with the MeToo movement and what needs to be done. And today we have discussed this Global Hunger Index Self4Society app, which is to be launched on October 24, and this India-South Korean relations, particular relation with Korean War Memorial and Unified Payments Interface. And with mains angle, we discussed what needs to be done for the reporting behavior, particularly with MeToo movement.